Yo, welcome back guys to another video on my channel. Podcast. Not F1 2021. I'm done with that game. That game here. I'm not doing anything in the edit for that, by the way. But yeah. But as you can see, it's not just me gonna blabber at you for an hour and a half. I'm joined by my good mate, spark666.
Yo!
What's up, my guy? But yes, in today's episode, as you see on the scrolling thing, we're going to do Spain review, Monaco preview, and the F1 22 game announcement, even though we're like, how many weeks late?
Quite a bit.
Game comes out in 4 weeks. And content that we're going to be doing. So yeah, this is also, PS, this totally isn't the third time we're trying to do this same episode. Totally. But anyway,
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Let's
do it. Let's do it, man.
And let's get into Spain review. So, Spain was pain without the S. Leclerc's Spain was Spain without the S.
It was all going so well until the Ferrari engine just decided to be itself.
So it's not just the Red Bull engine that does that.
And that's going to be music to Red Bull's ears, because I think, as we've sort of said before, if Verstappen is on top of it and the car's with him, then he's looking untouchable at the moment. Especially we're going to Challenger Monaco next, which is very Red Bull. Red Bull have always been historically good there. So Charles Leclerc, but he's lost the lead in the title thanks to some unreliability from Ferrari. But it really was a race I think he kind of had in his pocket, because he wasn't taken out by a gust of wind.
Yeah, unlike Verstappen and Sainz, where there was a gust of wind turn 4. Is it turn 4? Yeah, turn 4. Which caught a couple of drivers out. And those couple of drivers weren't the drivers that you would expect to Spinala. Yes, that meme is coming back. The Spinala meme.
The memes kind of never really left, though.
True. Pronto, I want you to Spinala at turn 4 with wind.
But yeah, I think for all the things, like Charles Leclerc, without a doubt, biggest loser in that race. But I will say probably the second biggest loser is Sergio Perez. Why? Because different strategies. I know Max was on the alternate strategy being switched to a 3-stop, yet the team asked him to move out of the way. Now, let's be real. There's only 6 races into a 22-race World Championship, and already you're applying team orders. I think that's a little bit... was definitely unfair to Perez, because it should... I think at this stage, I mean, it's not like he's out of the championship. Like, he should be given a chance to at least go for the win if he wants. And if Max overtakes him that way, fair enough. But I think the fact that they had to apply team orders so early on into the season, I think is just ridiculous.
Yeah. That was Perez's race as well. But then
before Charles Leclerc, Ferrari engine went.
Yeah.
It was a strong drive from Checo. He was just dealt a bad hand by the politics within the team, because I think, as we know, Max Verstappen is the number one. But that doesn't mean you should restrict the other driver to potentially win a race if he's got the minerals to do it.
And, well, it was kind of Perez's race, because, like, from the pit stops, but then again, Verstappen was on fresher, quicker tyres. Well, they were both on mediums, but Verstappen's were fresher. So, and the team order was Perez, okay, Sergio, let Max past if he is quicker than you.
Which is basically saying, like, Fernando is faster than you, except you're swapping the names Fernando with Max. And I think we said at the time that team order was ridiculous back in 2010, and it was without a doubt Fernando wasn't on one at the time. Now, I think if we're going to criticise Ferrari for doing the same thing, I think Red Bull should have should share some of that critique, because, as I said before, way too early to implement team orders, and Checo was the one who unfortunately lost out, and it's a shame because I think it potentially could have won. I know Spain is a track that's kind of hard to pass anyway, but we still had some very good racing. I still think Checo was screwed over unnecessarily.
And also, what was I say? Well, Perez did get fastest lap in the end, so he did get something for it, which was quite good. And also, Joe retiring was another mechanical failure.
Yeah, it wasn't the best day for Ferrari power units, was it?
No.
And Joe, that was his second retirement. I think he had to retire from Miami as well, so that's 2 on the trot at least. And looking at where Bottas is and just dragging that Alfa Romeo into the points constantly, I mean, 1 point compared to like 30 odd from Valtteri really doesn't look good. But it does kind of mask the job that Joe's actually doing. I think he's had a respectable debut so far, but I mean, you're going to expect a rookie to struggle, and let's be honest, Valtteri has got a lot of talent, even if it was quite frustrating to see where he was at Mercedes. So I think Joe he needs just a bit of good luck. Like, I'm not going to say he's done a terrible job, because in my view, he hasn't.
Yeah, obviously Bottas has now scored points in every race this season.
Apart from the one in which he retired in.
Which one was that one?
I think it was the second race of the season. It might have been Saudi.
I don't know. No, I don't think he did. I think he scored in Jeddah.
I think one of the races Bottas definitely retired. It was either that or Australia.
No, he retired in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, it was Jeddah. Oh, there you go. It's very consistent. So they've obviously given him a different kind of porridge at Alfa Romeo.
Anyway, shall we go through the race results? Because I have them up.
Well, we sort of touched on Ferrari, yeah.
Yeah. Sainz was 4th, and of course Leclerc DNF'd.
That's right.
Mercedes, we've talked about Red Bull, they got 1-2. 13 seconds separated them at the end. Mercedes, Russell was P3 and Hamilton was P5. In the end, they were quite a bit off, but it looks like from that weekend that they've gotten on top of their reliability issues. Russell's defense against Verstappen, god tier. I know his DRS was sort of not really working, but you play the hand you dealt, and he took a slower car and he defended that with all he's got. Have you seen a meme on I think it was either F1's Reddit or Arrow's Reddit about him pushing the DRS button 50 times, and then somebody put over the top, if you're a Sky Glass customer, press the red button. I find it.
I did see that one. And how many times? I mean, Sky are going to flog that Sky Class Q, whatever it is. They're going to flog it so many times to a point where I've got my now subscription. I really, really don't care.
Where is it?
Can we talk about Hamilton's comeback as well after some contact with Kevin Magnussen?
Yeah. Oh, here it is. Oh, bloody hell. Anyway. Yeah.
Because I think people were saying Hamilton was being a bit defeatist by asking him to box and save the engine, but that would go through your mind if you're in that situation, given that this is a track you historically can't overtake. So every driver at that point will cross their that will cross their mind if they're that low. But I think it was a good comeback to come out to P5. But from what I'm getting from Monaco practice, and we'll get onto that later, I still don't think Hamilton's 100% happy with the car. And George is just getting into that thing and just delivering consistently. I think it's that second podium of the year. I think well earned, but overall good weekend for Mercedes. But still makes you wonder what could have been.
I mean, I'm not trying to rub it into Hamilton fans, but Hamilton finished 22 seconds behind Russell.
I mean, given where he was, that's a hell of a result from Hamilton.
Found it. The edit was from the team radio. It's like, Max, try pressing the something. But his edit's like, Max, try pressing the red button if you're a Sky Glass customer.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I would love it if they said, I'm pressing 50 times and it doesn't work, and then somebody with a faulty remote in Sky is going to relate to it.
Yeah. Alpha, we talked about them. Alpine, P7 and P9.
Not bad. I think Ocon drove a brilliant race, all things considered. Kind of went under the radar a bit, but if you're quietly putting in the results, and that Alpine is looking quite fast this year. I mean, definitely fourth or fifth team, which is kind of where they've been for the last about 4 or 5 years. But I mean, for now, we've got obviously Ocon in there once again, putting in the consistent results and topping Fernando in terms of points so far. But Fernando to come back to the back of the grid to P9 again, brilliant drive. But he's going to be about like an extra sort of 10% better for his home crowd. But all things considered, very, very strong race. But one thing I do find, like, you know, when you say like the numbers don't always tell the story, I just think the difference in points between Ocon and Alonso is alarming. Guess how many points Esteban is on? I'll tell you, he's on 30 points. Alonso, 4. On the surface, that looks bad, but Alonso's had a lot of bad luck this year.
So he had 2 points before he picked up the 2 points in Spain.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it was looking great in Australia. So in Alonso's case, numbers ain't telling the story. So he needed that result in points. So still a brilliant result.
And also Alonso's still suffering with his injury he picked up in the crash.
What, you mean the one where he had to get his had to fix his jaw?
No, there's
one. The Australia one when he hit his shoulder. Yeah, I know the one you mean.
Yeah.
If he's still suffering with that, that's brilliant. That's a brilliant result.
McLaren P8 for Norris and P12 for Ricciardo.
Now, this is a worrying result, especially for Ricciardo, because Lando took that thing to P8 when he had tonsillitis, of all things. Ricciardo, fully healthy. I know he's still struggling to make sense of the car anyway, but you got P12, and Lando brought home some points. On the surface, that's bad.
Yeah. And also, he did just crash in FP2 in Monaco as well.
Yeah, he needs some good luck, and it's just, you know, going from bad to worse for Ricciardo, as much as I hate to say it. But I'm not going to write him off just yet. He could turn out to be absolute god tier by the end of the year.
Right. AlphaTauri. Tsunoda P10, Gasly P13.
Now, I think this whole year is looking quite an upturn of form for Yuki. I don't know about you, but he's consistently in the points. He's actually ahead of Gasly on points. But it could take another freak result from Gasly to completely change that. But I have to say, compared to the way Yuki was last year, because I did think he was quite immature in some places, like some of the comms on the radio that just weren't quite up to standard, and he was a bit erratic in the way he was driving. But I think he's definitely turning the corner this year in performance. He's definitely very, very consistent. So for him to get P10, like I said, with Ocon, another strong drive for him. It's so weird to think Gasly's the one who's struggling, given the way he's been over the last couple of years.
Yeah. Tsunoda has definitely improved from where he was at last year as well.
Absolutely.
Right. Haas, Mick Schumacher was P14 and Magnussen P17.
Yeah. Now, two different stories, same result, you could say, because Magnussen's race was kind of a write-off ever since he collided with Hamilton in on the first lap. There's nothing really K-Mag can do unless a safety car would come out. So not really much to report about with his race. Mick, though, he had to play an alternate strategy to get points, but it just didn't work. But compared to the last race in Miami, where he crashed into Vettel and just trying too hard, here there really wasn't much Mick could do. And I think he got the most out of the thing. It's just the strategy didn't work.
Being 2021 again.
Yeah, 2021, except his teammates infinitely better.
But yeah.
And I've just been targeted by the KGB.
Yeah, Aston Martin. We haven't talked about Aston Martin. I missed them out.
Yeah, we haven't done Aston yet.
Vettel P11, Stroll P15. Yeah. They are improving from where they were in Bahrain. I can tell you that much.
I wouldn't quite say that, because
And then
Racing
Monaco,
Point have been quite good at copying cars. I mean, when they tried copying the Mercedes. They tried copying Red Bull this time around, and it's just... If that's like a green Red Bull can, it would be crushed, laid on the floor right now. The upgrade hasn't worked, even if Vettel got the thing into P11. But there's rumours on, I don't know how much you've heard of this, but the atmosphere within the team, the way Lawrence Stroll is, micromanaging everything apparently isn't really healthy. And I do think if you own the team, you provide the facilities for them to work and leave them to get along with their job. You don't dabble in with everything and kind of say the way things need to be done. You need to trust the experts to do their job. And I don't think things are really that harmonious in Aston Martin. And there are rumours that Vettel could leave and Mick could replace him.
And then finally Williams 16th and 18th last.
Write-off. Complete write-off for Williams.
They're becoming their normal selves again.
Even with the red hair dye.
Yeah. Their hopes were up at the start of the season, but that's just because not many of the teams were upgrading, and now most of the teams have now been upgrading. Williams are now falling towards the rear of the field again.
It's a shame because Albon has been driving very, very well in that car. The problem is he got damage apparently in the first few laps, and his race was kind of a write-off from there, which means that he was miles away from Nicholas Latifi, which it confirms Latifi really is the GOAT. But we'll get onto the memes later. But yeah, complete write-off for Williams. Just it's kind of back to normal really for them.
Right. So that's it with Spain. Now let's look at Monaco Preview, and I'm just looking at the FP1 and FP2 standings. Bottas not setting times, probably because he crashed or something. I haven't seen that.
Well, Bottas has had some reliability issues all week, all day.
Yeah. So Leclerc topped FP1, and I think he topped FP2 as well. Yeah. So
yeah.
Quite strong from the Monegasque.
That's just as long as the Monaco curse says it's not going to happen. Did you see on the F1 YouTube channel, they literally made a video about all of Leclerc's bad luck? I mean, I do love the fact that they're in touch with the meme culture, but it's a bit like, what has Charles got to do? I mean, the things, I think finishing this race would just be a victory for him. Who cares if Max Verstappen wins it? Just finish the race, Charles, and it will be a win in itself.
So obviously we're at Monaco this weekend, a track that is notoriously difficult to overtake.
Notoriously, new word, guys. Notoriously.
No, I knew how to say it. I just exams have been getting me.
Bless him.
But yeah, so we 78 laps on Sunday. there's 19 turns. I'm not counting how many left and right, just saying.
And all of them are pretty bloody tricky.
I'm not becoming Crofty F1 game, by the way. Oh, speaking of F1, actually no, I'm going to save it.
Yeah, we'll save after the game for the end of the podcast.
So yeah, 3.3 kilometers circuit length. And I wish they added DRS zone through the tunnel. I've seen
Araba actually did that on one of his My Team career modes, and you know what? It actually makes for a decent overtaking zone.
Yeah.
I hope the organisers at Monaco are watching that video.
But yeah. I've got
I think in terms of how everybody looks, I know Ricciardo had his crash in FP2, but in FP1 he was only about a 10th off of Lando, so don't write him off just yet. It could be brilliant. This is where he won his last race for Red Bull with a car that only had half of its power. I know you can't overtake, but don't write off Ricciardo here.
Anybody bring any upgrades? I haven't seen.
I don't think people have brought too many upgrades because I think Spain's really the big round for that. But speaking of upgrades working or not, I think Mercedes pretty much have the same car, and it looks like they're going back to bouncing again. Hamilton's really not happy with the way his car's handling.
Obviously, next race is Baku in 2 weeks after this, after Monaco. So I think some people may bring like upgrades.
Well, it'll be a good race for Red Bull then, because it's a power circuit.
Not for Max Verstappen, if his tyre doesn't explode.
Same thing to be said about Lance Stroll. But then again, hopefully, when you get around to this year, they won't waste time in bringing out a red flag. Looking at you, Michael Massey.
Michael's in it. But yeah. After practice, I want to go by the times of FP2 for this.
Yeah, I know practice isn't always the most accurate thing, but it's probably the best thing we can go with.
Yeah, at the moment. I mean, yeah. Vettel 9th. That probably won't happen in the race. Although all Haas are worried about is how good they perform in qualifying, because obviously it's hard to overtake, and so basically what people are expecting is wherever they qualify, they finish the race in that way. But that said, they can follow a lot more closely now, because I think you saw in Spain so much more overtaking. And there'll be a lot more overtaking if they get rid of that last chicane. Yes,
that god awful thing, but not today. We'll save it. Maybe I'll save it for another video.
Next year.
Next year, when I come back and say, "Oh God, I hate the chicane. This is the most awful thing in the world." But you know what? Spain wasn't too bad. It wasn't bad.
All right, we've had enough of Spain. We're moving on to Monaco now.
Yeah, true. We're going to go on to Monaco. The important race. The jewel in F1's crown, where you really, really can't overtake.
Unless you send dive bombs at the hairpin on an F1 game and the AI don't out the way. Me.
Yeah. Or unless you mod the game to put in a new DRS zone into the track.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad idea.
Yep.
The problem, I think, with Monaco, there were whole talks about whether she should remain the jewel in F1's crown, but it's got the history to stay there. But even whether you can overtake or not, it's the ultimate concentration test, because, as you know, these cars are about as robust as a piece of glass. So it will pretty much break as soon as they have any kind of touch with the Armco. You lose concentration for one bit and you're finished. Which is why I never play it on the F1 2021 game. Or any F1 game for that matter, because I just suck. That.
According to Hamilton, he said that the track is the bumpiest it has ever been, which is why he's struggling fighting the car everywhere.
See, that they really didn't need that, especially where the car was kind of bumpy anyway. They go to a smoother surface, it works, and a bumpy surface puts it kind of back to square one. It's almost like the upgrades never happened. But this is the problem when you race on public roads, and they use them all the time. It's very rare. It's only once in the blue moon that they get resurfaced and smoothed out. But particularly on a track like Monaco, probably something different needs to happen there.
Yeah, and Baku as well.
And Baku.
Yeah. I think that's all. That's all I have to say about Monaco. You want to say anything else, or?
Looking at pretty much what I've seen, I think we could see another brilliant result from McLaren. I think Lando looks like he's feeling a bit better from tonsillitis, so fair play to him. But however, Ferrari on top, I don't see that happening in qualifying. I think pole is going to go to Max Verstappen. I think he'll probably win it as well, because he's looking bloody dominant right now. Leclerc, I'm just hoping that he actually finishes the race.
Wait. Didn't I say in the predictions where we tried to record this last week that Leclerc will DNF? And he did.
Well, the thing is that everybody know.
Hey.
Oh, you said that for Spain, didn't you? Yeah, you said that for Spain. GG's.
And I said Max will win. I said Sainz will get a podium, but he didn't, so... I think I said Perez would as well.
I can't remember what I said. I did say I did want to see the Mercedes on the podium, so I did get that.
I said Leclerc would win, but he didn't, so...
Well, so yeah, I guess I can sod off now, can't I?
No, you're staying right here. I'm the boss. No, I'm joking. Anyway, let's talk about what you've all been waiting for.
And probably already know, but we're going to talk about it anyway.
Yep. I'm just getting it up. Right, here we go. It's F1 22 time.
Yep.
So, I've got Steam already up with info.
Yeah, I'm just pulling it up now.
You don't have to. Anyway,
it's just so I know what's there.
So, it says here, enter the new era of Formula 1 in EA Sports F1 22.
I don't think you have to read all of that. They're going to know.
Obviously. Race a stunning new cars, obviously, blah, 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 blah. And take control of your race experience with the new immersive and cinematic race sequences. Create a team and take them to the front of the grid with a new depth in the acclaimed My Team career mode. Race head-to-head in split screen or multiplayer, or change the pace by taking supercars from some of the sport's biggest names to the track. And so yeah. Oh, 2-player career as well. That's coming. But
yep.
If any of you guys were wondering, but you probably already know because you know.
If you guys watch our channels,
and only our channels, not any other F1 YouTuber channels.
I think our viewers have lives as well, so let's leave them to that.
Yes. Yeah, VR is coming to F1 22 with I can't remember, but I'm just going to pull it up. Nope, 22. Let's do that.
No, the thing I really want to talk about, the thing I'm really excited for, possibly for what's happening, is DLC tracks. That needs to happen.
Yes, definitely.
It needs to happen because, as much as I love the current tracks, it'll be nice to race at some older classics. Like, I would love to go back to Malaysia. I would also love to probably go back to the Nürburgring as well, or maybe even Hockenheim. Adelaide, Kyalami. Actually, putting in Kyalami would be quite a good teaser for... I think the FIA have some plans to bring back the South African Grand Prix, therefore making it a World Championship now, because we're not going to have a race in Antarctica. But in any case...
God's sake. Yeah. Just trying to find out what VR headsets you can use.
Well, you can use. I mentioned the basics, so you can use Oculus and anything else that will cost you an arm and a leg to do it.
Never mind. Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah. There's also F1 Life, which I might do as videos, but I don't know if you're going to do it as videos.
Well, F1 Life is show off supercars, clothing, accessories, and more for the world to see. But it's just like it is something that kind of feels a little bit tacked on. It could be great, but it would just be like having your own episode of Cribs.
Cribs. Yeah.
What about adaptive AI? What do you think of that?
I think, if I can remember off the top of my head, Alex Gillen made a video about the in and outs of F1 with Lee Mather. I'll link the video down below, and I'll link any other videos like reviews and stuff for VR for PC only and what's in the game and stuff. I'll try to find the best video that suits it, and I'll put the link in the description.
A decent video that I saw for the video was Marcel Kiefer's about the aerodynamic setups. I don't know if you got around to seeing that, but that one, it just shows the difference between 0 and 50 front and rear wing on how and just the difference was in terms of cornering, straight line speed. It was a brilliant video, and it feels, I wouldn't say it's been completely revamped, it's been adjusted, but there's a bit more customization in terms of what you can do with the rear and the front wing.
I think I saw it after we tried recording the podcast. The day you saw it.
Well, that was a really, really good video. Did you see, I think TM at Marduk also done a 100% race with Lewis Hamilton in Austria, and the damage model for punctures, I mean, that looks so realistic.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
That's another one I'm really looking forward to. Crossplay is also going to be a thing, but I've got it on both anyway because I don't know when that's going to come, and I need the Xbox to do the league racing.
Xbox, PC, PlayStation, and PC, which is what a lot of content creators have been wanting as well, because most of their subscribers and followers actually don't play the F1 games on PC. I'm just moving to PC because I think it'll make it better.
Also, go on.
I'll be modding, but I won't be doing it myself. I'll be probably nicking some stuff off race departments.
Well, I think a lot of people will be doing that, so I think I want to have a go at modding. I want to make my own livery on that for my team. So I've got some ideas. I can make it more sort of like in line with my league as well. And plus my mate who runs who's a PT, I can always put his logo on there as well. That might be really, really good. And just put like some kind of fake like classic F1 logos on, just so it doesn't look too. Yeah.
Also, just a heads up. The softwares that were in Tom 97's video for F1 2021, they do cost. I checked. I clicked.
Yeah, I didn't think it was too much though. So, and he mods his games quite well. So I think I might take off of that.
Yeah,
I'll definitely doing it for my team mode. The way I'm going to go with my team as well is that because I'm currently finishing my latest season, I've still only got 2 more races to do, but I'm looking probably finishing about 3rd in the championship. So I may play the whole regulations change has caused us to go back and we need to get our way back up. So I may go for the lower budget option.
My camera's frozen again.
This camera has frozen again.
There we go.
He's back.
Technical difficulties again. How was that? Anyway, right. What I'm going to be doing is, content-wise, I'll be doing my team. We'll be doing co-op. I'm doing league racing. Don't know when it's starting. I think obviously I've got it on PC and Xbox, but I'll probably play it more on PC. I may stream my team videos and league racing. I might stream and then make them into videos. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, we're doing co-op, obviously, as I've said.
Yep.
Don't know when we'll start it. We'll probably start it like
about 3-4 weeks into the new game, just so we're used to it. My league racing will start in the plan. I can get my team off the ground.
Yeah, so. And I think that's it.
I think for me, there's one more video that I want to make after I finish my team, and that's me finally ditching the corner line. So I'll be going no assists from there. I'll probably be pretty damn slow, but for me, that's watershed moment in terms of playing the game, because no assists, and hopefully that could help a lot of other people who are in the same situation. So yeah, that's something I want to do on my channel.
Video then.
Yeah, video.
Oh yeah. Before the F1 game comes out, if us two both have time, and if he gets the game that I'm wanting to get,
Euro Truck Simulator.
Yeah, we may be doing a truck stream from probably, let's just say, a bit from Britain to Milan.
Yeah, we've just got the package for our F1 team. We've got to get the things over. It's going to be a long drive. So we're just kind of bring you on to fill the void and kind of waste your time, really.
We will be streaming it.
Yeah.
On our Twitches, which I'll leave a link below. I have also found some truck livery mods to put on the trucks, but you'll need a specific truck for that, which I will tell you when you get the game, so you know which one to go for.
Wait?
If you ever get the game.
If I ever get the game. Nah, I've been paid, so I'm more than likely to get it, but probably about this weekend. And you can have your little stream, it's fine. Because I know you're desperate.
I've been asking him for the past 2 months.
He has, to be fair.
Yeah. I think that's it. That's all I have.
That's all he's got. So I think for my end, just say stay tuned over the next 2 weeks. My team career mode for me is coming to an end. I've got 2 more races to go: Saudi Arabia and Abu Dhabi, and the last one I'm planning to do a 100% race.
We didn't tell me that bit.
Yeah, 100% race.
I may.
So tune in to see me bottling it on lap 17.
Oh yeah. I want you to stream it if you can. Stream your last race.
Stream my last race?
Yes.
Okay. If there's a weekend away from Firth. Actually, I might do it if I can get it done and the video done next week. If I can do Saudi Arabia within about this week and get the video out before then I may stream the race on that weekend where we don't have an F1 race. Yeah. Hopefully, if it goes that way, which I'll work my butt off for it just to make sure it works. I mean, it's just the edit time, man. It's so long.
I know how I feel when I was trying to edit the podcast for the past 2 weeks.
There you go. The world's smallest violin. Hear it and weep.
Yeah. I think that's all we've done. Really.
Yeah, I think that's it for this week.
So guys, if you have enjoyed this video, then make sure to please leave it please give it a big old thumbs up and subscribe down below. Don't sub to him, sub to me. I'm 10 subs behind him.
I have a very supportive friend here.
If you're watching from Spark's channel, come and subscribe to me. And unsubscribe.
If you're watching from his channel, sub to me as well.
No, don't.
Yes, do it.
But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. But that's been him, spark666. 666. That's been me, Omar for one. I've been busy with exams. Bye.
Later.